Okay, and something else I want to talk about. This is almost like a bit of a bonus one because, first of all, I don't actually own the records itself, mainly because the records are not available yet, as of the time of recording this. So, what I'm talking about here is by an artist who, arguably, I would say is probably the best soul singer coming out of the UK right now. Big claim, I know, big claim. I think those who follow the scene a little bit will probably agree to a certain extent, and those of you who follow me on here and probably know some of my tastes already probably know what I'm going to say. But the person I'm talking about here is Cleo Sol. In 2023, she released two albums. She released an album called Heaven and released an album called Gold, which both in fact released 2 weeks apart from each other, which is like crazy to still think about this to this moment, because when we got the Heaven album, everyone was like, this album's great. And then when she announced another one with almost like no warning shot, it was almost too good to be true. She deserves a lot of big shout out. And for me personally as well, in 2023, she had a big role to play for me, myself personally, mainly because myself and my partner, we had the honor to see her perform at the Royal Albert Hall in London. So yeah, that was a big special moment when she performed live. And it was a biggest performance she'd done at that probably level so far. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where she's just hitting a new level every single time she releases new music. And you know, I don't want to say it's in a particular way, but it's almost like she makes other people sound quite one-dimensional. I think it's because she offers so much within her music. And you know, I've presented a lot of great music today, and it's all good selections and such. But Cleo Sol was like another level, and she released two great albums that, to be honest, I'm still digesting myself, and I can't wait to get the albums and have them in my hands, because naturally when I have the records, it's almost like I'm going to listen to it in a different kind of way. What I really enjoy about Cleo Sol's music is that she's able to hit it from all different angles. And we're talking about the different, almost like genres she may cover. So in a recent album, she covers a lot of like gospel soul. I think her background is Christianity as well. So she's a Christian at heart, and you know, she wears it on her sleeve a lot. But also she does focus on other elements, which almost gives a nod to her upbringing. Just a little bit of background here is that Cleo Sol's parents were both jazz musicians who both worked within a band, and so sometimes she has that element to her style of music as well, but sometimes she's got elements as well of other musical genres she might be brought up on. So one example is on the Gold album, she has some particular tracks. I think the track of, my memory serves me right, is a track called Reason, where she has a lovers rock kind of style and sound to it, which is really good because the signature bass line is recognizable. If any one of you who grew up on lovers rock or reggae, you will understand that bass line straight away. But yeah, it's like, it's really good to hear those kind of notes and sounds, which you almost don't really hear now modern day from soul artists. And this is what I mean about her music becoming almost like, it's less one-dimensional. It's almost like it has greater width and spans across many different genres in that sense. And notably, something to say as well is about the way that her collaborations with the Salt family, the Salt group, and Inflow, the producer, because notable on the albums, the Salt albums, she's never credited. In fact, nobody's ever credited on these albums, so you don't know if it's definitely Cleo Sol or not. And prime examples of that is one of the recent albums called 11. Now I want to give this a shout out actually, because it's an album I was listening to throughout 2023 as well. And I want to give a big shout out to my sister-in-law, Maddie. What's up to you? Because she did buy it for me as a gift for my birthday, the 11 album on record, and it's really good. And there's a couple of tracks on there which I'm pretty sure it's Cleo Sol on the vocals, but at the same time I can't 100% say so. But yeah, and it comes down to the fact that like she's constantly got a lot of music and constantly you know, hitting different angles of what she can do with the talents that she possesses, most importantly. Big shout outs also to her previous albums. We got Rose in the Dark and the Mother album, which are two fantastic, great albums, which I think deserves to get shouted alongside, because I almost see that the Heaven album and the Gold album is almost like the second act in her masterpiece in the making. And what's quite funny as well is that my partner, she loves Heaven album and I love the Gold album, so it's like a nice little difference of balance in there. But yeah, I want to give a big shout out to that, because as much as I didn't have it on record within 2023, I didn't pick it up, I still acknowledge the fact that I listen to it quite a lot, and in my household that music gets played a lot. I'm pretty sure all the run-up of streams coming from my girl's phone is the reason why the album could probably continue to chart in some places. But yeah, man, Cleo Sol, big shout to her. I also want to give a big shout to Salt as well. As of recording this, not too long ago, they did a special live event in London as well, which unfortunately I didn't go to, but apparently it was like incredible. Those of you may know as well that Cleo Sol is part of the group called Salt, which is produced by a guy called Inflow, who overall continue to create great music and probably deserve their own appreciation segment or appreciation video to document about, because they're just, it's insane how much good music and what's going on there. But yeah, big shout out to Cleo Sol, man. The Heaven album, Gold album, incredible albums that is continue to live throughout. And I think what's great about her albums as well is that, as you know already with the past history of other past albums, is that the longevity is good.
スタジオファンク